Yo, what's up, swag gang? You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Campbell, aka KL Swag. Back here with a video, man. Look, man, we about to react to the 10 most hilarious things Mel Kiper has said at the NFL draft, bro. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and let's just get into the reaction. Yes, we are back here again with TBS. Oh, yeah, let's get into it.
Mel Kiper is truly a knowledgeable man of great renown, at least when it comes to the NFL draft. But sometimes the stuff that comes out of his mouth, well, it's pretty darn funny.
That man mouth, bro.
The sports media world is filled with characters that people love to hate. Mercurial, provocative talking heads that will say whatever it takes to get the people going.
It's provocative.
No, it's not. It
gets the people going.
But Mel Kiper is a unique case.
He can come off the edge. He does some certain things.
Todd. He's been in the game so long that I truly believe everything he says is straight from the heart. But that does not stop a lot of it from sounding patently absurd. Let's take a look back at 10 of the most hilarious things that Mel Kiper has said at the NFL draft over the years. 2005 draft. Aaron Rodgers had one of the most famous draft day slides in recent memory. The former Cal QB was originally thought to be a potential top
young Aaron Rodgers,
especially with his hometown San Francisco 49ers holding the first overall pick and in desperate need of a quarterback.
I thought he was the best quarterback in this draft, slightly over Aaron Rodgers, and that's the direction, knowing the quarterback needed what it was, that they had to go.
Whoa! Swag gang. Alex Smith better than Aaron Rodgers? Oh my God, that is dead. And look at this man, hurt all the time, bro. Always getting his ass kicked, always throwing bad balls. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Now he been doing his thing, you know. He been doing his thing now. But what, better than Aaron Rodgers? That is crazy. But you got to think about it though. Aaron Rodgers probably came from a small school. I don't really know what school he came from. I wasn't watching football around this time, you guys, but damn, Alex Smith over Aaron Rodgers, who would know that? I know you guys didn't know that. I swagging, I know half of y'all didn't know that.
As we all know now, he tumbled down to the Packers at 24 and has gone on to have a Hall of Fame career. But on draft day, Mel Kiper made an absolute mess of it, trying to surmise the situation as it was unfolding.
Well, another quarterback in that mix is Jason Campbell from Auburn. You're getting into a territory now, the first round, where if you look at Green Bay and Washington in particular,
you are supposed to be the media juggernaut and draft guru.
Joe Gibbs' strong interest in Jason Campbell. All of a sudden then, does Jason Campbell become the second quarterback taken? Very possible. Aaron drops into the late first, early second.
And all you can do is ramble on and on about how Jason Campbell, of all people, might send Aaron Rodgers into the second round.
Damn.
The entire spiel was shockingly discombobulated.
Where maybe a John Gruden, who was thinking about Aaron Rodgers at early point at 5, now has 36. So maybe Aaron Rodgers falls in his lap.
And that was only illuminated further when Torrey Holt calmly and succinctly declared that Rodgers was going to have the luxury to go to Green Bay, where he was going to play behind Brett Favre for a couple of years.
Aaron Rodgers will have the luxury to go play with Brett Favre in Green Bay.
Just a hilariously tough look for Kiper as it played out exactly as Holt predicted. It had that feel of, are you done wasting everyone's time yet? Because here's what is really going to happen, Mr. Expert. 1989 draft. While Mel might have been a little off the ball back in 2005, he seemed way more locked in during the 1989 NFL draft when the Jets, and not Kiper himself, were the butt of the joke. For starters, the clip kicks off with the assertion that maybe, just maybe, the Jets might be in need of a general manager.
Does this selection just point up that the Jets, who have not had a general manager for several years, need a general manager or a football man really at the presidential level?
Which is a laughable notion considering how serious the NFL has become in modern times. Kiper then nails a response, putting it as straightforward as possible by saying, I just don't think that the Jets understand the draft.
I just don't think the Jets understand the draft. You have to get value when you make a selection. If you're picking 14th, you have to get a player that on your board is 5, 6, 7, 8.
What a damning statement from a man that at the time knew the NFL draft far better than the rest of the world. The sad part of it all is that the Jets have continued to have more than their fair share of fiascos on draft day. Some people just never learn. The only saving grace for the Jets on this one is that Jeff Lageman, the player that Kiper felt New York was reaching for, did go on to have a decent 10-year NFL career. Just not as good as Pro Bowlers Andre Rison and Wayne Martin, or Hall of Famer Steve Atwater, all of whom were taking a few pictures.
Oh, and also you guys, I see you guys unsubscribe from me, bro. Like, what was going up? Like, I guess because I dropped a hockey video and the comments is, the comments was disabled. Look, I didn't do nothing to that. Like, the comments was disabled. I don't know why. I guess YouTube felt like it had to be disabled because of hockey. I don't know. It was just disabled, and yeah, I don't have nothing to do with that. But anyways, man, let's just get into the reaction, bro. God damn.
Later.
I can't see Jeff Lageman as any more than an early to
Let's keep running it up.
choice. So if you're going to take Lageman, you move down.
2000 and 2018 drafts. The funny thing about Kiper, too, is that at a very basic level, his beliefs have remained very similar throughout his lengthy career. This is evidenced by his strikingly similar takes on Baker Mayfield and Tom Brady, who were drafted nearly 20 years apart. Despite both guys having successful college careers, admittedly Mayfield more than Brady, Kiper was outrageously concerned about both guys 40 times, which might be the single least important measurable for a quarterback.
Mel, do you like it or don't you?
I don't like the pick. No, I think at 4.84 is his 40 speed.
Question's going to be mobility. Only runs
Damn,
a
he had a
5.25
4.84?
40.
Yeah, you want a quarterback that can move a bit, both to avoid the rush and get the occasional first down.
Wow.
But a lot of that stems from their agility, awareness on the field, and vision.
4.84.
It's not like you need a QB breaking out into a full-on 40-yard dash. The 2007 draft. Perhaps it is just because they are the most discussed draft prospects, but it does seem like Kiper somehow consistently manages to spit out his most laughable takes whenever he's talking about quarterbacks.
I think when you look at Carr and Harrington 3-4 years down the road, you are not going to call any one of these two players a bust or a disappointment.
Now, in fairness, he was not the only one to be wrong on Jamarcus Russell, with former LSU quarterback and number 1 overall pick of the Raiders, who famously flamed out in grand fashion. But to my knowledge, he is the only one who went on national TV and told America that Russell was going to be Elway-like.
3 years from now, you could be looking at a guy who's certainly one of the elite top 5 quarterbacks in this league. Skill level that he has is certainly John Elway-like.
Yikes. A truly hilarious moment in the history of Mel Kiper.
Don't make me laugh.
1998 draft. Remember when I suggested Kiper often makes his most ridiculous claims on quarterbacks? Well, this is starting to look more and more like a fact and not just an opinion. I mean, check out his take on Ryan Leaf, one of the all-time quarterback busts in NFL draft history.
Well, I really believe, Chris, when you look back at this trade, San Diego moving up from 3 to 2, 5 years from now, it may not look like Bobby Beathard gave up enough.
Kiper's thoughts on Leaf were, and I quote, his attitude will be an asset in the NFL and give him a mental advantage over other players in his draft class. Kiper added, I think Ryan Leaf is more mature than Drew Bledsoe when he was drafted. He's very much a grown-up 21-year-old. And it just so happened that Leaf's attitude, along with a slew of mental health and addiction struggles, were key factors in his downfall as an NFL QB.
Don't talk to me, all right? Knock it off!
1988 draft. Beyond some of his ridiculous quarterback claims, Kiper has also had a wide variety of hilarious moments too. And it's not all centered around what he is saying, but somehow how he says it, or more so how he looks when he says it. And for my money, anything that Kiper said during his wannabe movie star phase is comedic gold. I mean, come on, look at him, staring seductively into the camera, with what I imagine to be an expensive spray tan and an outrageous pushback hairdo. Young Mel was hell on wheels, and he wanted everyone to know. 2020 draft. Let's do a quick flash forward to a much older version of Kiper, who still is ready at a moment's notice to provide some comedic relief. This particular instance arose after people started to float the idea that Joe Burrow, a mortal lock for the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft, was going to try and pull an Eli Manning and force his way out of town before being selected. Kiper proceeded to go on an all-time rant about rich quarterback history in Cincy, telling Mike Greenberg all about it on Get Up.
It almost feels like people are positioning this like Burrow is being set up to fail in Cincinnati. What do you think of that perspective?
I'm disgusted by it, Greeny. It makes me sick. And I've been screaming about this for months. I hear this garbage. Everybody wants to spew about the Bengals, and it's the horrible place to go. It's awful. You got no chance for a quarterback to have success. What are you, dreaming? You want to just throw out inaccurate information? Fine, but it makes me sick. The 81 and 88 may be too long ago, but they won in 81 with Kenny Anderson, 88 with Boomer Esiason. If that's too far removed, fine. Let's fast forward to 2011, 2015. That's not 100 years ago, guys. Okay, they had 5 straight winning seasons, 5 straight playoff appearances. Should have beat Pittsburgh. It was a penalty late that cost them that opportunity. They had an 11 and 12 win season mixed in to those 5 straight years of getting to the playoffs. Okay, wow. And with Carson Palmer, he got hurt in a playoff game where they may have won that game. Andy Dalton had success. So this notion that Joe Burrow is going to a place that's never won, never had success, never had a quarterback do anything is utterly ridiculous.
Watching him get so passionate about it is pretty hilarious. Almost makes you wonder if you got a kickback from someone in the Bengals organization to prop them up a little bit. 2021 draft. This one is an epic clash between two of sports media's biggest personalities. Kiper, of course, and ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. looks like he's going to erupt while Mel goes on his long-winded rant about how the Jets should keep Sam Darnold.
I'm saying personally what I would do, I would keep Sam, get Kyle Pitts, use those other draft choices to fill need areas, and be a much better football team that way.
And once Kiper finally finishes, Stephen A.
He sounds right,
and pays homage to Colts GM Bill Tobin shouting, "Who are you?
Who are you? Are you listening to Mel Kiper Jr.? The patience, just the patience. Has New York not suffered enough?"
And you can tell by the smirks on Kiper and Max Kellerman's face that they knew Stephen A. was on his game. 2010 draft. Sometimes we all say things that we wish we could take back. It just
said, "Who are you?"
isn't always on national television and doesn't put her ability to make a living at risk. And that is exactly what Kiper did in this outrageous back and forth with Todd McShay. It started when Kiper said, "If Jimmy Clausen is not a successful quarterback in the NFL, I'm done. That's it. I'm out." McShay then asked, "What is your time frame, Mel? When do we make this assessment?" "I want 8 years," Kiper replied. McShay insisted that it'll only take 3 years, Mel. We can tell inside 3 years. But Kiper said, "I want 8. And here we are, well over 8 years later, and Jimmy Clausen hasn't played a snap in the NFL since 2015.
Wow.
And his time in the league was not so pretty either, with just 7 touchdowns to 14 picks. I guess Kiper can claim it was hyperbole or something, but if you ask me, the man should have been barred from his practice immediately. 1994 draft. I mean, how can we talk about hilarious Mel Kiper moments without diving into one of the most infamous draft day controversies of all time? And, of course, the feud that ensued. The incident in question spiked up back in 1994 as Kiper was beginning to ascend further and further into the limelight. The Colts general manager took issue with Kiper's holistic analysis of the Colts draft day operations. And how did Tobin respond? Oh, just by delivering a soundbite that has lived on ever since.
Who in the hell is Mel Kiper, in a way? Mel Kiper has no more credentials to do what he's doing than my neighbor, and my neighbor's a postman, and he doesn't even have season tickets to the NFL.
He also gets bonus points because Kiper was touting Trent Dilfer, of all people, as the can't-miss prospect.
It's a mistake. You cannot go with Jim Harbaugh and pass up Trent Dilfer. Forget it. That's why the Colts are the laughingstock of the league year in and year out.
But what do you think was the most hilarious thing Mel Kiper said at the...
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. He's wrong. Well, probably back in the day, but bro, the Colts are disgusting. The Colts are a really good team. But anyways, man, make sure you comment and subscribe. I love you guys. You guys stay swagged up.